guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Today I'm going to go through setting up my budget for the week of February 17th. So let's get into it. I am excited about February 17th, about this week, because if you've been following along with my budget planning, you know that I had some challenges that were going on, and I have some travel that's coming up, and so I'm just quite happy that February is moving along and things are going the way they're supposed to go for this month. So let's take a look at what happened for the prior week. It was a pretty good week. I did have a lot of expenses during this week, and that's fine. But I pretty much stayed on track with everything, paid a lot of my bigger bills that needed to be paid, did some pay downs on some of my kind of bounce back plan I'm on since my unexpected vacation in January. So I'm really excited about that. It went well last week. Now, I'm going to go ahead and set up the week of February 17th. I usually actually have this set up before I do this video, but I thought I would just set it up with you this week. So I just come in and label the week. I try to make it a little bit cute, right? Because why not? It's a budget and it can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be, you know, ugly. It can still be cute. There we go. So what I do is, I don't do much when I set it up per week. These boxes act as envelopes for me for my variable expenses, because I love the cash envelope system, but I don't use cash. So I do like a digital envelope system. So this, if I had an envelope, this is where I would write my budget for that envelope and put money into that envelope. But I'm not doing that. I do digital. So I write my budget and I put money into that account for it. So for my groceries, I actually am going out of town for the beginning part of the week of the 17th. So I probably don't need as much for groceries. However, I don't really buy groceries until the Wednesday. That's when I go grocery shopping, because that's when the new sales come out for my local store. So I actually still need to budget for a whole week because I go from Wednesday to Wednesday in my grocery budgets. So I am still going to do $50 for grocery. For personal, let's see, I don't think I'm going to do that much for personal. We will see. I think I am going to do my normal for personal, which is about $25. And then transportation, I am not going to need to do any gas, I don't think. Eating out next week, I will be eating out the beginning part of next week, but that's a part of my travel budget. So I'm going to go ahead and put $15, because sometimes when I come back from travel, there's like a gap between when I want to cook and when I don't want to eat out. So, you know, or when I'm going to cook and when I'm going to eat it, there's just a gap there. And a lot of times I eat out to fill that gap. I don't want to keep doing that, but I may. So I'm going to put $15. Entertainment. This one is interesting. I don't think I have anything. No. I will have something for entertainment because there's a book that I want to buy. So I'm going to go ahead and put $15 for entertainment. I use this open space. I'm starting to use that for business. So I may have a business expense of about $150 next week. We will see. So that's how I fill that out. Let me check my bills and expenses schedule. This is like a little extra page that I make for my budget. This is actually available free to all of my Patreons, and I might have a free link on my link tree. I'm not sure, but you can check the description down. to see if there's a link to this, because this is a page that is freely available to you guys. Of course, it's not going to have my bills in here. It's just going to be blank, and you come in and put your own due dates. But this is just so I can have a quick reference of my bills that are coming up for the month and what their due dates are. So for the week of the 17th, I do have a few things that are coming out. And they're primarily all related to business expenses. So subscriptions that are coming out. I do have a credit card bill that I need to pay, and I have an ancestry bill. So I'm gonna write on my bills ancestry, and then my subscriptions, which they are going to be about $50. They shouldn't be $50, but that's, I'm just going to put that there. Then this is going to be $25. Okay, I don't know yet what my meal plan is going to be, so I'm going to leave that blank. And that is about it. So the next thing that I do as I'm setting up my month is I come in and I put the correct highlight colors on my categories. So let me find those. I should know most of these. Some of these I do know. Like business, I know that that's the color for business. Let's see. Bills, families and friends, groceries. Subscriptions, auto, entertainment, and dining out. Here we go. So I just go ahead and make sure that I highlight these. These highlight colors match my categories. And so when I do my highlighting during the week, these are the same colors that I use. So it just makes it easy to keep track of things when I close out my budget at the end of the week and end of the month. I'm missing one. I think my personal is like a blue color or something. So let's see if I can find my personal in here. It's like a greenish blue. So where are you, personal? Right here. Okay. And that's about it as far as setting up my budget. Now what I'll do is as I have expenses, I will come in and track those expenses, and anything that comes out of my variable categories over here, I'll come and I'll write those down, and I'll keep a running total of what I have left. That's how I use my digital envelope system in my budget. Okay, so just a couple of things I want to highlight about February. I had a few challenges for February. One of them was a 30-day challenge. This was saving for my upcoming trip. It was never going to be a full 30 days because I knew that, because the trip is actually this week, and that's only like 17 days into February, but that's okay. I used my 30-day challenge sheet to keep track of it. And this is a trip for my parents' anniversary. So I didn't make my $1,500 goal, which was fine. It was just a goal. And so this is done though. So I went ahead, because the trip is actually coming up like tomorrow. So this is done. What I do need to do, I saved a total of $1,000. It's a 2 or 3 day trip. Hopefully I don't spend that much, but I shouldn't, but that's what I saved for it. And so now I need to go to the front of my planner where I keep track of my my envelopes, right? So again, I don't use physical envelopes. I use like a digital envelope system. So kind of the way I do that is I keep track of all of the sinking funds and challenges that I have going on. If I was using a cash envelope system, I would have probably 2 types of envelopes. I would have variable fund envelopes that you go in and out of every week, every month. And then you kind of have like your savings challenges envelopes. So sinking fund envelopes, challenge envelopes, things like that. So it's kind of like you have two different types of envelopes. And so that's what I'm representing here in my planner. On a monthly and weekly basis, when you see me do my variable categories, those are like my variable envelopes. Those are the envelopes I go in and out of every month or every week for me, because I do it weekly. So that's things like your grocery, your entertainment, your health and beauty, right? That's replicating those. But you also want to keep track of your sinking and challenge envelopes. And that's what this is. I keep those in my annual. And I just keep a list of all of my challenges that I have going on and all of the sinking funds that I'm working on. And when I have filled up the envelope or met my goal, I come in here and click or select done. And that one is done. So for this month, I recorded my February 30 day because it's a challenge. Sometimes I would put 30 days on here, sometimes I won't, but because this was tied to a vacation, I did, and it's done for me. I saved $1,000. That challenge is over, so I hit or I put a check mark that it's done. Then I need to come into my sinking and challenge savings account tracker. So this is aligned to an actual tracker at my bank, an account where I transfer money that I'm saving in my envelopes, and they all go into one account. And I have various sinking and challenge funds, and I put the names of them here. So I saved $1,000. I need to transfer this money into my sinking funds account so that I can use it, right? So I am going to go ahead and transfer that over. And this was a challenge. It was Feb 30 day, and it was $1,000. And so now the balance in this account for me is $1,000. So this again would be the same thing as if I had an envelope with $1,000 in it to use for my trip. So that's what it is. So that savings challenge is now done, complete. Everything is tracked. Everything is in the account where it's supposed to be. Another thing I want to point out though is that for February, I am also saving, I have a vacation challenge, or a vacation sinking fund, I should call it, because I have a vacation coming up in March. So I have a vacation savings challenge, and my goal is to save, I have $2,000, but I think I want to save $2,500. But my goal is to save $2,000. And so this is my visual tracker, right? It's always fun to have a visual tracker. And I have saved a pretty good amount of that, almost half. But I've also spent some of this because it's for a trip. So some things you have to prepay. But I have saved, and I keep track of this in the exact same way. I have it listed as my music travel for the spring. That's a savings challenge. $2,000 is the goal. It is not over. I started this in the beginning of February. And I have actually been saving as I've gone along. So I've saved a little bit every week, but I've also had to make payments because I've done things like pay for my airline ticket, pay for my concert ticket. And so, you know, as I have made deposits into this account, I've also had to make withdrawals, but it's fine because it's all for that savings challenge. And again, it's the same as if I would have had an envelope dedicated to music travel. If I would have put that $800 in the envelope and then I had to take it back out to pay for my flight and my concert tickets, I would still have zero in that envelope, but I still would have saved that $800 toward my $2,000 because it's all part of that budget. You see what I'm saying? So I really like this digital envelope system actually, because I'm able to work with one account, not like tons of envelopes, and I don't use cash anyway. So this just allows me to keep track of money that's coming in and out of this account that's dedicated to my sinking and challenge savings, to my sinking funds and challenges savings as I go through the year. So I'm excited about it. So right now I have my $1,000 in there. I'll probably, this is going to sound weird, but I'll probably end up taking that all the way down to zero. Well, no, that's not weird because I'm about to go on the trip. So it'll be 0 next week because I'll spend whatever I'm going to spend, and then I'll put whatever's left over probably in long-term savings. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching me set up this budget for February 17th. Like I said, a little bit different this week because most times I spend more time talking about the prior week and then just do a quick glance at what's going on for the next week. But this time we set it up together, so that was a little bit excited. I enjoyed doing that. I might do that again moving forward. So thanks so much for watching. These budget planner inserts are inserts that I made. They are available on my Etsy, and they're linked down below if you're interested in doing a similar type of approach for digital cash envelopes. So thanks so much. Happy planning, and I hope you have a great week coming up.